And welcome back to the Cocktails and Culture Podcast with myself, Brigethia Arai.
And I'm Benjamin Coy.
And welcome back.
Welcome back. Y'all.
We've
missed y'all.
We've missed y'all.
So, by the time y'all are seeing this, it will be 2023. So, hashtag Happy New Year. I hope your year is already starting off fabulously.
Yes.
Shout out to our future selves in 2023. We see you, we love you, and we're proud of you, we're rooting for you.
Love you, babes.
Period.
Yeah.
2023, we're setting great intentions. We are, again, rooting for everybody black.
Period.
And everybody who does great.
Always. That's what we honestly live by.
Yeah, shout out to Issa Rae, we love you.
Shout out to Issa, we love you. We love everybody black.
Who are you rooting for tonight?
I'm rooting for everybody black. I am. Betting on black tonight.
Lovely.
You know what that reminded me of? And I really hope you're going to know this TikTok sound, because if you don't, I'm going to be so sad. It's so hurting. Maybe some of y'all might know it. It's the City Girls one, and it's like 2020 vision.
Bitch, we twinning! Yeah.
2020 vision, City Girls winning, copping us bullshit. Bitch, we twinning!
Yeah, that's what it is. So,
that's my mood right now.
we have a lot planned for this year.
Me too.
So please, like, stay on us. Like, please continue to follow us everywhere. Like, stalk us on the gram, on the Twitters, on the TikToks. Follow us everywhere. All those links, as always, will be in the description box. And subscribe to that YouTube channel, because we see y'all watching and we love it.
Yes.
So continue to do that, y'all. We love y'all so much.
Do that thing. Watch. Our Instagram feed looking real cute.
It's looking real cute, so go ahead and follow us. Yeah, get into it.
Let's talk about these drinks. I mean, because you're a masterpiece.
Now listen, it's been a long day. So I think when I make this drink, I like have that in the back of my head. Because this is probably one of the strongest drinks I've ever made.
Yeah, this one's strong.
This is our our strawberry watermelon refresher. It has watermelon juice, strawberry puree, lemon juice to bite the tequila, and then tequila.
Yes.
It's good, y'all.
It's good.
Very refreshing.
Very, very.
So please. And also, when we make these drinks, y'all should try them at home and like tag us. And we post them. Let us know what y'all think. Let us know what y'all think, if it's good or not. If it's not good, don't say that. I'm just kidding. Be honest. Don't hurt my feelings. I'm kidding.
Yes,
but yeah.
One day we're gonna definitely do some videos, and I'm gonna show you how we make our signature drink.
Yes, because I do get a bartender.
Yes,
I really be shaking.
You back there.
Yeah.
Shaking the bartender.
And shaking.
Well, there's lots to talk about. Again, it's the new year. We're so excited.
Yes.
So let's get into.
Let's hop right on into it. So by this time, it's already out, but I'm just very, very excited that season 15, I believe, season 15 of RuPaul's Drag Race is returning. A round of applause. Yes. I'm very, very excited. So at this point, I've only seen like the Meet the Queens, and they look. Let me show you so you know what I'm talking about. But like the colors are pink, yellow, black, and white. It's really cute, I feel. The promo's really cute.
Yeah, you see 80s, race car.
Yes.
Pink.
Yes.
Love that.
I am excited. What I don't like though is if you are a like if you are a fan of Drag Race, you definitely know what I'm talking about. I feel like they always typecast people, and I hate that so much because now I feel like the queens are starting to look the same. Like when they were doing, so if you watch the Meet the Queens episode, they're doing like a runway, and girl, I had to zoom in on these people because I thought these were past queens from past seasons. So like, Drag Race, mix it up, girls, mix it up. But congratulations to all 16 girls that are competing. I cannot wait to watch. Oh, and they were once on VH1. Now it's on MTV. So they're moving up in the world. So shout out to RuPaul, RuPaul Charles. If there's one person in the world that's always going to have a bag, it's going to be Candy Burrs and RuPaul Charles. Well, that's I guess 2 people in the world. And Beyonce. There's both people in the world that's going to have a bag, but RuPaul's one of them. So shout out to them.
It's so funny because a couple months ago I was like randomly watching the Nicki Minaj one.
Oh, when she was a guest?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a
It
really good
cute.
episode.
It was funny.
She was so cute. I love
Yeah,
that.
that was a good episode.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Hopefully next episode we'll chat about it and I'll let you know who's my favorite at that point.
Yes, you want to know. The girls want to know.
And I'll let you know, baby. Okay. Speaking of our queer community, I am very, very excited to reshare at this point that President Joe Biden has signed the Respect for Marriage Act, which is really fabulous. It's really great to see. It's really great to know that like legislators do have your back sometimes. And this really came out of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe versus Wade. People like went to uproar. They were like, oh, if they can turn over this, then they can turn over other things. And so shout out to legislators for legislating and getting that passed. So it's gonna make a better future. You know, at the end of the day, y'all, love who you love. Okay, as long as you are being respectful, as long as you are showing respect, as long as you are, not hurting anybody, just let people be themselves. Exactly. And let them be fabulous.
And to me, I feel like if it's not affecting your personal life, then I don't understand why you even care.
Hello. Exactly. And that has been, and that's my thing, right? Like, so I was watching the news, because I'm a news watcher now. And I was just saying like some of the opposing sides' comments about it, and they were like, this goes against our religion and this, that, and the fourth, which if that is what your religion says, that's you. But this act does not go against your religion. In fact, like it does not allow or does not permit, it still gives churches the permission to deny you from like them marrying you, but you can get married by the court. Right. So like, it really has no change on anybody's life. It has no change on anybody's like marriage. Just let people love who they love. Like, just let people be themselves.
If we want to talk about going against your religion, you guys also are still committing adultery. You're still doing drugs.
If you want to get into the Bible,
you're still
no sin is greater than the other one.
Exactly. You guys are still living with people that you're not married to. And
hello.
Sexual intercourse.
Hello. Y'all cutting y'all hair. Y'all dyeing y'all hair. Y'all eating pork. Exactly. So if we want to talk about it, let's talk about it. Let's talk about everything.
Talk about it.
Okay.
Period.
But yes, shout out to Joe.
Yeah, shout out.
We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe.
Leading with love.
Yes.
Like,
shout out to leading with love. Let's lead with love in 2023 and beyond.
Period. Let's lead with love, because at the end of the day, again, it's not affecting you, and you can choose to live your life how you want. Let other people live theirs how they want to.
Exactly.
Speaking of that conversation, something just came to my mind. I forgot about was, I know you probably seen, and I don't even like to talk about him because he's just Boosie.
Girl.
Who always just has something to say about
always has something
Zaya.
to say.
And he's done countless of interviews over this probably past few years about Lil Nas X and making comments about Zaya, who is a child, first of all.
That's number one.
That's number one. And finally, Gabrielle Union said something in like an interview clip, and she basically was saying like, and some people didn't like what she said, but she was basically saying like, somebody brought up the Boosie situation, and she pretty much was like, he's so concerned about what Zaya is doing, other LGBTQ plus people. And it's like, are you a part of the community at this point?
So good, Sorry, Boosie. He's so preoccupied.
Yeah, he is. Very
It's
much so.
almost like thou doth protest too much, little Booze.
I'm gonna look
You got a lot of dick on your mind.
I mean, it's
Throw
like
that out there.
It's like Zaya and Lil Nas X live in his head.
For free, rent free.
Like what?
It's like, sir. something you want to just go ahead and tell us? This is a safe space.
No, for real.
We can be your sanctuary.
Perhaps that safe space was not provided for him. And
I don't
that's
think
why
he had a safe
He did
space.
not have one. We could definitely tell.
Because it's confusing.
It is
People
quite
say,
confusing.
oh, why is she shaming her? No, it's not shaming. Like, she shouldn't have said anything. That is her daughter. If she wants to speak on it, how many times has this grown man spoke on her daughter? How many times?
Countless.
Countless times.
And okay, so I never want to like accuse anybody of anything, right? So I don't want to sit back and say that the reason that he is constantly picking at these people is because he's in the community. But it is kind of weird that like his entire brand has kind of shifted into hating these people. Like his entire people don't at this point. People really don't. Well, people know Boosie plays music, okay, but the newer girls don't know him because of his music. They know him because of the countless times he's talked about Lil Nas, the countless times he's talked about Zion, and
just controversial.
I don't know. The person in me, like the compassionate person in me, wants to say that maybe he's just curious, and this is how he like this is how he like speaks out to like. But at this time, it's 2020. Well, it's 2023. Google is free. You are a celebrity, so you do have access to finding resources and learning. So I guess that's not the truth. It's just weird.
It's weird.
It's very weird.
And I agree. Like, I don't think maybe like I think when you poke a bear, you constantly poke at somebody and they finally respond. And maybe Gabrielle probably, if situations were in the way it was, and maybe she just was in the spirit of the moment and made her upset in that moment, and she was like, well, maybe he's a part of the community or whatever. Maybe that wasn't the 100% best thing to say, but at the end of the day, Zaya is also not like a baby or something. She's old enough to, I'm pretty sure she's probably seen some of these comments that could affect her.
No, she has. Like her Instagram, like every time she posts first of all, every time she posts a photo, I'm like, because she's so stunning. And I always want to comment, but her comments are turned off. And I feel like, or they're limited. And I feel like it's because of Bootsy and people like him.
Exactly. And it's like, you don't know, there's many thousands and hundreds of thousands of little girls or, you know, little boys, children, period, that look up to her or, you know, maybe have some of the same feelings or some of the same experiences as her. And those people also can be affected by the things that you're saying. So I think celebrity, I mean, it's even more important when you're a celebrity, when you have a following, period. But just as people, it's like, again, one thing I don't do is speak on how people raise their kids, because I feel like that's their decision, you know? And it's just like, you don't have to agree. Because you can feel how you want to feel. You don't have to agree.
You're not putting any money in my bank account.
Exactly.
You're not feeding these kids. You're not taking these kids to school. So why does it matter?
Exactly. Why does it matter? You don't have to agree. You don't have to raise your kids this way. I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't agree, then like keep scrolling. Keep it pushing. You don't have to agree. Zaya is perfectly fine. She does not need your opinions and your comments about how her life is and all these like false scenarios and all this other craziness. Like, at the end of the day, mind your business. That's what I'm gonna leave that at. Mind your business.
Sweep
like,
underneath your own door.
Period.
That's a good country. But please, sweep underneath your own door.
Period.
So, but shout out to Zaya. You are beautiful. You are loved. We love you.
We love you.
We support you, and just keep being the ray of sunshine that you are. It is very refreshing to see you just like killing the game, killing the outfits, and rising above all the negativity. So shout out to you, Zaya. We love you.
Shout out to you, Zaya.
Yeah, and shout out to Gabby and
D-Wade.
Yeah, because I asked. I am not a sports person. So I was talking about this with somebody else. And I had to ask them, I was like, wait a minute. Who is Zaya's dad? Is it LeBron James? Yeah, I'm sorry, I got them mixed up. But shout out to Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union for being like good parents and good models of parents who literally just love their kids.
Literally.
Like, that's all that any person would want, is just to be loved. So shout out to them for doing that and being an example for other people, especially specifically for other Black people. That's really beautiful to see.
Our probably have already listened to this album already.
Yes.
But the SZA finally dropped her next album after CTRL. SOS.
Blind.
That's my song.
It's a cute little vibe. I appreciate it.
Cute vibe.
Yeah.
So first, before we even get into some of the discussion surrounding the album, what did you feel about the album? Like, did you love it? Do you need to re-listen, kinda? Did you like, not for me? Like, what did you think about it?
I am going to be very honest. I am going to have to listen to it again. One, because, and I hate to say this, like, when I first listen to other people's albums, I don't listen to it with a fine ear. The only person's album that I do that with is Beyonce.
Right.
So yes, when it first dropped, I was not like running to go listen to it.
Yeah.
So I listened to it on the way home from work in the car, and I think it gives. I think it's gonna have to grow on me. I hate to say, like, I hate to compare it to Control, but like Control is just so good. Control is just so good, and it's still so delicious. But I do like that she experimented. There are different sounds in there. She still sounds amazing.
We got like rapper SZA.
Yeah.
We got R&B SZA. We got like alternative.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate her wanting to try different things. I don't know. I just, oh my gosh, and I really do hate comparing, but like the cultural reset that Renaissance was just has me listening to music totally differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I agree.
So I think I'm gonna have to listen to it between now and the next episode, because I'll have holiday break to like see what it really gives.
Yeah.
And I'll come back to you on my real opinion. But for right now, shout out to you, SZA, because it's been in that vault for a long time. We know.
Yes.
Was Hit Different on there?
No.
Was T-Shirt on there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
the songs that she put on there, from like just singles that she's dropped throughout the year, or whatever it was, outside of like Shirt and Blind or whatever, but it was Good Days and I Hate You. Cause I don't know she put on there, but I get it. First week number, she wants to make sure she hit. Like, I get it.
And those still okay.
Yeah, those are like, those been out for a minute now. So the thing I would say is I agree with you. It's definitely still pending for me. So I've listened to it. I
love that. Yes, it's definitely still pending. I love that. Yes.
I don't hate it. I do think, I even said this, I was like, I really think that like where she was with CTRL was like where she was in life, and I think this album SOS is like where she currently is. And I think as an artist, like, it's important to try to have a balance of like what your fans want at the same time of like where you are like emotionally and mentally, and I think like she's kind of all over the place a little bit, and I feel like maybe that's where she is currently. So, and then I don't know, somehow, some way, SZA's songs always get leaked a lot. And so a lot of those songs, some of the songs, even like prior to the album dropping, some of those songs like T-Shirt, like, and then first of all, sometimes when she does snippets, it's like damn near half of the song, and I'm like, girl, a snippet is just, girl, cute little 10-20 seconds, girl, basically 10, like, you ain't supposed to, why y'all snippet be damn near the whole song, and then when you finally hear it, you feel like, damn, I already heard this before, and there's not that much left of the song. So that's the only thing I would have to say like so far about that. But I do like I like how she kind of introed into the song with SOS. I think I love like the energy there. Jay Versace, you know him. He produced
Shut up.
2 of the songs. He's been in his producing bag for a minute now.
I'm proud of you, Jay.
Yeah. Jay, he did. I can't remember. Let me see. He did.
Good. I love that pipeline from like Vine comedian to like
so I
boss.
believe
Come on, rebrand.
I know he did Seek and Destroy, and then it was another one that he did. I can't remember right now. But yeah, like he did it, and I love that. And I love that SZA works with like even it was this girl on TikTok that does like this magnificent eyeshadow, like makeup, black girl, and a lot of other creators were kind of stealing her style, trying to make it like they were, you know, her like they normally do. Anyways, but basically SZA ended up working with her for a lot of her like recent like stuff for her album, for her videos that she's recently released, like working with the girl. So I don't know, I love all of that. You know, I'm into like that part, like the campaigns, the branding part leading up to like drops and stuff like that. But anyway, needless to say, like I said, album still pending for me. It's a couple songs that I've of course liked, but we'll see. We'll get some more listens in, and we'll see. So outside of just like the album and the talk of like how we feel about the album, so I seen like a lot of conversation about people, some of the songs, like let me see, some of the songs like let's see, Special, really specifically, she was like calling herself like a loser and like just like certain stuff she was saying, and like I seen a lot of people were saying like basically like Renaissance gave us this cultural reset, and like we all were kind of just struggling and dealing with it mentally and all that during the pandemic, well in 2020, 2021, and it was just like, girl, I don't think I'm a loser, babe. Like I don't feel that way about myself. Like I think like it's just like some people saying like I don't know, but I get where everyone is coming from, but it's like I think we have to remember as fans that these people are making music for them, and we may feel like we want to relate all the time, but you just can't relate to every single thing. But like that's how she felt when she recorded the song, and shit, she could have recorded this song a year ago, and now it's just coming out on the album. So I think that's important to keep in mind when like interpreting music and stuff like that. Like she could have been recorded this song, and like that's how she felt. It's not necessarily meaning she wants the world to feel the same way.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, she is an artist.
Exactly.
Right. And so at the end of the day, she's making art that she wants the world to see, but it's more so, like you said, for herself. Like it's not. It's for us, right? But it's more so, like I said, for herself.
And if you can relate, you can. If you can't, you can't. There's certain albums that come out that like you naturally just gravitate towards. Like I always say, like outside of CTRL, like mostly all of Janae's bodies of work, like especially like Chilumbo and like those albums for me just came out at perfect times where I just felt so connected. Like I felt what she felt. I was going through some of the similar things and just the same emotions, stuff like that. So like, that's not gonna happen with every project your favorite artist drop. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
And then there could be people that that album did speak to.
Literally.
Maybe it just wasn't. Maybe it just wasn't you.
Yeah. Exactly. And sometimes they're past that shit after they release. Like again, the song could have been recorded a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, and this could be feelings that she felt. Hell, we don't know. She could have recorded this during the time she did CTRL, but it just didn't make the album, you know? So we don't really know. There's lots of things that go on behind the scenes when you're creating projects and stuff. So, you know, I understand that dialogue, but I think, like, it really just depends. Sometimes you can relate and sometimes you can't.
Exactly. So, we are very, very sad to report that one of my favorite reality TV shows produced by Issa Rae has been canceled. Sweet Life LA. They only had 2 seasons, and we kind of have been speculating that it was going to be canceled because they ended up not having a reunion for this past season, but I'm actually very sad. I think Sweet Life came at such an important moment, specifically in my life, as someone that watches a lot of reality TV, and it doesn't feel like reality because like, I watch Housewives, but
we can't relate to that. They're 41 years old.
Exactly.
5 kids, the husband.
Exactly. It's just nice to hear their drama. But I feel like, with Sweet Life, I definitely was able to relate to like some of their stories and relate to some of their storylines and relate to just like some of the feelings that they were feeling about relationships, about like being a professional, doing your brand, friendships, all that stuff. So definitely want to shout out to Sweet Life. Thank you for what you did. I will also say that, what's that girl name? Tyler? Ty. The way that she announced it was so funny. She put a TikTok up and she was like, me trying to fight with Krishan Rock so that because my reality TV got canceled, so I'm trying to get another show. That was so funny, but also like, damn girl, you could have warned us that was going to happen. I'm just scrolling through TikTok and I see my favorite show got canceled. Like, what is this now? But yeah, shout out to them. I wish them well. Hopefully I will see them again soon in another capacity. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You put me onto the show. Loved it. Definitely for the 20-somethings. Super relatable. Like, loved I don't know, it was reality, but it still kind of felt like, I don't know, like you just watching your friends or something on TV.
Exactly.
And I wanted to see it expand to different cities.
Yes, now.
Like,
I mean, who knows? Maybe it is about to expand to different cities, and if that is the case.
DC, hit us up.
So, but yes, I would love to see franchises.
Hopefully, maybe another network can pick it up.
Yeah.
BET, come on, y'all trying to get back into y'all reality bag, Revolt. There's a whole bunch of other ones. Even at this point, Stars. I don't know.
Somebody can really pick it up. So please, like, Issa, sell it to somebody and let them pick it up and continue.
They won't be sorry.
Yeah. Another show got canceled that I'm really sad about. Legendary.
Oh yes, I've seen that.
So if you don't know about Legendary, it is another competition show, but for the ballroom scene. So they invited different ballroom houses like House of La Beja, House of Ninja, House of VIP Glare, like all these different international houses to compete and win a prize. And they had 3 seasons, and I don't know how I feel about them being. Actually, I do know. I do not like that they got canceled, and I feel like there's something that happened behind the scenes, but I don't want to speculate too much. But this last season, I feel like was the best season yet. Like, yeah, maybe the houses were at top tier. It was very clear who was the winner from the beginning of the show, but the drama was there. Like, the drama was there. The banter between the judges was so entertaining. Like, it was great TV. So I'm just like, what on earth possessed y'all to cancel this show? It was great because it was on HBO Max. It was on this huge platform, and it was really big for like Black queer representation. So I'm really excited about that, and I would love for another network to pick it up, or do something similar. I don't know how that legally goes if they can. Do that, but shout out to Legendary. Shout out to, oh my gosh, I would have loved to see Keke Palmer another season as a judge. Shout out to Naomi. What's the other girl? Not Naomi. Jamila Jamil, La Roche, like, and Deshaun Wesley. So I'm gonna miss.
I think a lot of shows are kind of wrapping up. But now I think about it, let's talk about some of our like watches that we're gonna be like that we want. Maybe you guys have watched, or maybe we can give you guys some ideas of what's watching. Comment below some of your favorite shows that you're currently watching. That like, and so Benji recently told me to watch Gossip Girl, and also it's on HBO, and I've been watching that, and I'm loving it so far. So me, because I'm always like deep diving into like the characters and all that, and I watched the original. And over the weekend, I was thinking, like, I would love to see Luca Sabat. I think that's his last name.
With the dreads from
yes, from Grownish.
Yeah, I would love to see
he brought that like edginess, that like grunginess a little bit to Grownish, which was kind of like played it a little safe, you know, which is cute because I still watched Grownish. Not this season, but the other seasons. But I can see Luca, like, he just has that, his style, his like everything. Like, I think he would be dope on there. And then also I thought about Austin Butler. I'll show you a picture of him. He was in like Hannah Montana years ago, and then he actually played Elvis' character, which he's
not as being casting directors.
Child,
HBO Max.
Listen, I be having ideas, but
period.
Him. He played on Carrie Diaries on the
Oh yes.
He would be.
He's familiar.
He would be good in there too, because he has this like, I don't know. He just has this like
I can see him on
vibe, and like, I don't know, like, it reminds me of, I can't remember his name, but he plays Joe on You. His name is hard to say, I don't remember. But he was on the original Gossip Girl. And there's a couple of them that just have like this vibe I would love to see. I was trying to think of other like Black girls too that I would like want to see on there too. That would be great. But needless to say, I think like those two, I thought about them like, oh, they would be cute on the show. I think that would be cute.
I would agree. Yes, definitely watch Gossip Girl.
Yes, Gossip Girl.
I unfortunately did not watch the original season. Sorry, but the reboot. If you were like me and did not watch the original seasons of Gossip Girl, the reboot the reboot is totally different. Like the characters are different. Yes, they talk about like the original characters, but they're not on the show. It's totally different storylines, it's new people, it's really fresh.
It's like a re-emergence of re-emergence of the original. The original is still great, but I don't feel like you have to watch it to watch that. Definitely not. And so some other shows, like I mentioned You, that's one of my favorite shows. That's coming back Wednesday. Okay. Is a show that a lot of people have been watching.
Now, is Wednesday scary?
I wouldn't say it's scary. I would say it's like suspenseful.
Are things popping up at me? I'm not a pop out the blue type person.
I don't think nothing is popping up.
I don't need you to pop up.
You know me, I don't like scary stuff.
Yeah, we know.
But like, I don't know, something about Wednesday was just like so entertaining. Like, I don't know, but I've been so tuned into that. And then some other shows that are coming back are Bel Air's coming back.
Yeah, it's very exciting for
really
that.
Excited about that. I'm so happy to see Coco Jones back on the big screen. So I can't wait to see this next season. It's gonna be super fun.
And just like that, the Sex and the City reboot is coming back, which I'm very excited for. This first season of the reboot was drama filled, and I feel like, that was probably the first series I've ever cried. It was they acted their asses off in that show, so definitely go and watch.
I am a Sex and the City super fan. Sex and the City super fan. Like, I love the show 100%. So I was like a little skeptical about this and Just Like That coming out when it first was announced. I'm like, okay, what are you gonna do? Samantha's not gonna be on it. Like, what's going on? But I don't like how, this is a spoiler alert, I don't like how Big was killed off of the show. I feel like, and they said it was like that because he just said he was done with it. He didn't want to be a part of it. I think they did it like he was on a Peloton and he had like basically a heart attack or something on the first episode.
Literally.
I just feel like they could have, if I was a writer, I feel like I would have maybe made it like, if he didn't want to be on the show, but he was like, all right, I'll give y'all a couple episodes in the beginning of the season, and then it could just be like, I would rather them said that him and Carrie got a divorce.
No, I wouldn't want a divorce.
Or why did he have to die like that?
I hate, like, this is so weird. I prefer her being a widow. That sounds really weird. But, like, I prefer that storyline of her being a widow more than I would of her getting a divorce.
Yeah, I know, I get that part. But I don't know, like, I feel like the way he died was just like, okay.
No, that was
like random. Like, why couldn't it be like something, another
and
way?
Peloton's sales.
Right, and then they used Peloton. I don't know. I feel like that was kind of lame, like the way they did it. Like, oh, he was on the thing and he just, like, no. I'm like, why couldn't it be something different? Like, oh, he was sick and he was in the hospital. Like, I feel like
that added to it. I do feel like that added to it, really sucked you in.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was rushed a little bit. Like, I get it. Like, they wanted it to be like, you know, it was sad either way. But like for him to like die like so quick, and it's just like, what's going on? But I will say that was the best funeral I've ever seen.
That was a very classy funeral.
Child, that was fashion.
Oh, honey, if you have not seen it, please go watch. It was very classy, very fashion, but like, I don't know.
It's weird.
It was weird because I guess it's a black thing. Like, where was the pastor? And it happened so quickly.
Yeah.
Like,
everything with that death was so quickly.
Wasn't the funeral in the same episode too?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It was pretty.
Give us some time. Like, we love.
But they only had a certain number of episodes.
I know, but I feel like he should have just said he didn't want to be in it. Cause him just dying like that was just like, okay, why was he even in it? Like, be like Samantha and like, no, I don't want to be in it.
Well, didn't Samantha and them have a fight after the last movie? Isn't that?
Yeah, I think it was something about.
I feel like she's gonna pop up this
season. Getting paid more or something like that, and she didn't really like. They don't like each other in real life, and yeah, they got drunk, child.
Girl,
it was Brigethia and them older too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, like it was so different.
But that's that. I'm excited for him to come back.
Yes, all the shows. I'm excited about all the new shows that are coming.
Absolutely.
Okay. So this episode, we've really been hearing like a lot of, you know, conversation about gatekeeping. People say like, I'm not a gatekeeper, and I don't necessarily mean like if you ask me where I got my shirt from, I'm gonna be like, girl, I'm not telling you because I want you to have it. I don't really care about stuff like that. But I think gatekeeping has really not gatekeeping, has really changed the world due to social media and how social media really like pushes on trends, which like sometimes brings quality down. I mean, there's something like I think of that was a trend on TikTok that like made me want to try it, or I bought it, or I kind of like right now it's this trend of by this creator Danielle, this tuna cotto. I don't know if you've seen before. Some sandwich that people are just like, it's so good. No, there's a location in DC. There's like everywhere in New York, Miami, LA.
Tuna fish and avocado.
Yeah, it's like
the textures.
But people are just like, oh my god, it's so good. And then she's doing one too with like caviar and like all this stuff. And y'all, I ain't never ate no damn caviar. But for some reason, I just want to try it because it's just like
something new, right?
It's just like, I want to try it. Like certain snacks, it's like you just want to try it. Like, and then outside of that, I think when it comes to like fashion, it's like because everything is like so available, it's like then designers are up in prices and things are just like the price continues to increase, but the quality is not.
The quality isn't increasing.
It's not increasing. Like.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I don't know. Gatekeeping for me, I have different opinions because I guess it depends on what we are gatekeeping, right? Because to me, when I think of gatekeeping, I think about accessibility. Yeah. I think about people who historically would not have had access to certain things now being able to have it. Right. And I feel like the price increase, that's gonna happen. Yeah, like that's just business. But like, I don't know. This really makes me think about the whole thing around New York Fashion Week. And I think I may have touched on this when I talked about it the week I came back. But there was this whole, obviously on TikTok, a big trend of people like telling you how to get into Fashion Week and what to do, da da da. And then a lot of people ended up being able to get into like these high-end shows who weren't really like, I don't know, they weren't like, they were fashion adjacent, but they were not a part of the industry. Right. And for me, I felt like that was like an issue of classism, or like a really, really big example of classism, that when the common person gets access to these luxury items, now it like loses its whatever, like it loses value. Like, and I literally remember, I remember people who work in the industry talking about that and saying like, well, damn, now I don't want to go because everybody can go. And it's like, I get we love to be exclusive, but at the same time, girl, yeah, like what are you gonna do? So I feel like it just depends on what we're getting.
I understand a little bit of both sides, especially when it comes to the Fashion Week thing, because let's think about a fashion editor that has been working at, I don't know, any publication, any fashion publication, Vogue, whatever, whoever it may be, for 15 years, or just has a huge impact on the culture or something like that, but you let Addison Rae, because she has the most followers on TikTok, you give her front row over a person that like actually made impact in the industry. Wow. And some people even say that about like Kim K and her family, like the Kardashians. Even they're big stars. That's an example of, another example of, let's say if Kim was in front row, but I don't know, Edward Info wasn't like, or Virgil or somebody like that. Like, yes, Kim has, you know, she has done her thing, a little stuff in fashion here and there, but she's not really like, you know, she definitely has impact on fashion because she is a celebrity. Like, she's a huge celebrity. But like, that's the same thing. It's like people, you know, like these huge like random influencers are like, and I think it's great, like there's nothing wrong with them going, but I understand the side of like people that are like, not to say they can't come to these things, but it's like the people that's like, I don't know, like I guess I would feel like how we talked about before of like, you know, these huge influencers getting jobs being hosts, but you have people that went to college to be a host and work in the entertainment or communications field, but you give it to, now because how social media is, you give it to someone that has a bigger following versus a person that's actually trained and skilled in this particular profession. And I think that is, you know, that's the that's the part that I see that's like, well, damn, conversation with like some of the our generation, like Instagram comedians like Drewski or Desi or B Simone or Jess Hilarious, people like that, like some of the older comics and stuff feel like, you know, well, y'all got it easy, y'all just kicking on Instagram, and we had to like do stand up, and like, so there's always, I think, probably gonna be a little bit of like, you know, they kind of get it seems like it's easier because it's like y'all can make money, and we had to like really go and travel and have this big ass tour and like do all this shit.
I mean,
but things change.
Exactly, things change.
Yeah.
We are living in the digital age. We're no longer approaching it. We are literally in it, and that's no fault of ours. But going back to the fashion editor versus Kim K on the front row, at the end of the day, it's about business. Mm-hmm. It's about people selling clothes and people making a profit off of it.
Yep.
So I'm gonna be very honest with you. I love Edward. Well, not me, because I mean I understand Edward's influence. But if it came down to somebody who is less known versus Kim Kardashian, who has over 1 million, 1,000 bajillion people following her, I would also choose her to sit in the front row because people are gonna watch her and say, "Oh, Kim K is at." This is so random. Kim K's at the Coach fashion show. Like, now I'm gonna go get me a Coach. Like, that's how that happens. So I feel like it's, at the end of the day, it's more about, it's more about influence. It's about money. It's about capitalism. This is a capitalistic universe, and that's all that's on people's mind. But when it goes to like, again, the common person who just is there, I don't think they're not sitting in the front row. Like, they're not.
Yeah, no, I think
there. They're like in the back, standing
that
up.
discussion during for fashion week, I think that was more so about like these bigger influencers versus people that like are really in the fashion industry. I don't think it was necessarily like the, you know, regular people that, you know, just got a chance to go or, you know, whatever. Like, I think it was more so about like choosing, you know, this big influencer over someone, you know, that obviously that we would probably always see there.
And then about the people like the hosts on like entertainment hosts, whatever, that is also an influence type thing. Mm-hmm. But I was getting ready to say that I feel like that's more so like entertainment. So more so like people hosting the VMAs or hosting red carpets or hosting like actual entertainment stuff and being a personality versus people who are like reporting the news. But that's also not the case because Michael Strahan is on Good Morning America or whatever morning show that is, and he is not, I don't think he's a journalist. I know he was an athlete, but I'm not sure what he studied at Texas Southern. But like, so I understand what you're saying there. But when it goes to like entertainment shows and people being hosts of that, I feel like that is definitely who's gonna watch you. At the end of the day, are people gonna watch you? Yeah. Like, that's what it goes down to. Because if people are not watching you, I don't care how many degrees you have, I don't care who you've interned with, if people are not watching you, they're gonna think it's off the air. Yeah. And so you have to, in this day and age, because social media and digital media, period, is so large, you have to have a, like, your own brand. Like, on top of being a qualified journalist with a bachelor's in communication, with a doctorate in communications, you have to also have a brand for people to follow you and want to hear from you.
Yeah, so I think, like you said, like, the industry is continuing to change, it will continue to change. And even, like, I think about, there were certain people, like, back when I was younger, that I always remember seeing, like, on the red carpets hosting. There was always Lala. There was, of course, the 106 in Park hosts that we had there. Juliana Rancic, I think of, for, like, E! News. And, like, there's certain people that I always, just because I was, like, into the profession, but like there's certain people that you kind of always remember seeing that, you know, like, oh, this person always going to be there. You know, BET had their group of people that was kind of like holding it down and kind of grew their platforms there. But yeah, the industry definitely changes. Even like, and I think too, even when it comes to like, like people always say like, everyone is a journalist, everyone has a voice.
That
now,
comes from social media.
Yes, from social media. And like a part of it is, I think, amazing because it's like there's so many people, like even down to people be trying to become, you know, a rapper, a singer, or something like that. Like we wouldn't have some of the biggest artists like we have, like Nicki Minaj, if there wasn't a Twitter or YouTube to help her further her career. Like literally, like she's like one of the first like that kind of came off from that social media world, like, and that kind of launched that to start. But
now I'm sorry, finish it up. I apologize.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like I think like that obviously brings like that's a part of it. I think that is great, and I think obviously, of course, social media is good for other reasons, where people got to get out wrongdoings or you know things like that.
I was gonna say now when we talk about gatekeeping and we're talking about the entertainment industry, I can see. I don't want to say the downfall of like artists, but I can see the downfall of artists.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't know, like of course I love Beyonce, I love Destiny's Child. Before I was a Destiny's Child super fan, I was a Danny Kane super fan. Danny Kane from Making the Band. They were the first girl group that I was like, oh my god, like I love them. And so one of the girls, I think it was Aubrey. She did an interview and she was talking about like, you know, like these people who just go out and make music and then they make it big and now they're getting nominated for Grammys and so on and so forth, versus she had to wait in line for this audition and had to like go through certain trials, go through dance calls, go through singing warm-ups and be like trained to be the star that she is. And there's like other people who seemingly, not always, but seemingly just like come out the blue and do it. And I feel like that feeds into the other conversation of when Beyonce is done being Beyonce, which will never happen, but like when she is done like being in the public eye and she's more so like the mother, like who is gonna be the next person? Like I feel like there's so many rappers, there's Lil this person, Lil that person, Lil this person, Lil that person, and it's like it's so difficult to consume like music because there's so much music to listen to.
You mean another person that's gonna have like as much
that type of influence? Yes. And I feel like this last class of maybe Chloe and Halle, I feel are probably the last class
with influence. Or do you mean like that?
Like I feel like they are gonna be
the ones that are
them and what's the British group Flow? Those two black girls, I feel like they have a certain star power as well. But there's so much music
but you know what?
to download and down.
I think again, like times are continuing to change and evolve, and how Beyonce got her start is just I don't know if it still can work the same as it did back then to now. Like,
well, no, it can't because
not the same.
When
so we don't really know if, I mean, I hope that Chloe and Halle, I'm not saying, I think they're super successful and all that, but clearly that's not enough these days because when you go into a record label now, it's really always not even about talent anymore. It's really about, it really is about how many followers you have already. Like you have to come in, when you have your own brand, it's like there's barely no artist development. There's like, you have the look. Like when people talk about Saweetie, like, oh, she's just pretty, and like, that's a fair point, but she's marketable. She does, and I like Saweetie. But some people feel like she's not a good rapper. She's just pretty. She's just like there's a lot of people that have those feelings about her, and other artists like well, they're not really that talented. They just have a nice body, or their father is this person, or their mother is this person, or their family with this person. So
and that may all be very, very true.
Yeah, it definitely will be, but I don't know. I think and then even though I love now that like we can go on Instagram and I can go look at what Beyonce last posted or Rihanna or whomever, but I do kind of miss the days of like when we didn't have so much access. because sometimes it's like people do feel entitled, and sometimes you like how I'm so mad because Beyonce still didn't drop these visuals.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, back then we couldn't. It's just like, okay, we just seen her on her last interview. Like those times were so like different and so pure, and it's like I miss like the only time I really seen my favorite artist is if I got a magazine, honestly, and I seen the picture in the magazine of an interview.
Yeah.
Or once computer and stuff came more, so it's like once we was like really on there looking at interviews, which was not computers came. I didn't mean it that way.
Because I was gonna say I know you.
Not computers came, but like I'm saying, like at my age, when I started getting my mom bought me my first computer.
You had to put the disc in the AOL.
I had a big chunky ass computer.
I'm not gonna lie, I had one too.
Yes.
I had one too.
So that when I first got the computer, I was younger, so I wasn't looking up interviews. I didn't start looking that up until I got a little older.
Did you have internet on your computer?
I think it was like we had internet, but it wasn't like obviously not Wi-Fi. But it
I
was
didn't have internet in my computer. It was literally just like the Windows, Paint, the game, Solitaire.
No, we had
downloaded Microsoft so I could do. Like,
yeah, we had internet down the line. Yeah, we did. But yeah, like. I feel like until I probably was in high school, that's when we was like really looking up like, oh, okay, so this interviews person said, or probably a little earlier than high school, like you can see like interviews, but now it's like so much access, like you can literally possibly meet your favorite artist, and that's fun and that's great in some aspects, but then at the same time it's like, damn, people really do, like if you are a celebrity, it's like people really do have so much access to you, like you can post something and a person could be like, oh, let me try to go to this restaurant. I could tell. I'm go where this person is. Like, I don't know. It's like,
and that goes back to I definitely think I remember talking about this in season 1, where I said like, fame sounds so beautiful, like it sounds great, but I don't think I want to be famous. Like I don't think that I want to have paparazzi looking at me walking my dog. Like I don't think I want that. I'd rather just be respected in the industry, like be well known for my craft, and that too.
That money.
But yeah, I don't know that I want to be like people beating down my car. Like, oh my gosh, when Nicki Minaj, where was she? She went, I think it was in New York, and she had a concert in New York, and people like swarmed around her car.
Oh yeah.
That oh my god. Just watching the video, my anxiety flew out the window.
Seriously?
So like, I feel like that's just, I don't know, it's,
I definitely would not want to be famous at all.
But like, Lord, if that's in your plan, if that's in your plan, I am a willing participant.
Right, but I love how famous Beyonce is, but she keeps it private. Like,
and I've always said this. She did an interview where she talked about why she is so private. It's because she admires the words of Nina Simone, where she was like, "It's not about me. Like, it's about the art that I'm sharing. It's about the music that I'm giving. It's about how I'm making you feel." Through my music. It's not about, like, I understand the influence that I have and the impact that I have, but like, at the end of the day, without my music, I would not have this impact, this influence. So she's like, I want to be a private citizen. I want to have Julius and 5 million bodyguards and 2 million cameras around my house, and I don't want anyone to come and see me because I want to have a private, regular life. And honestly, truly, I can't fault her for that. I can't fault her for that. So
I can't. And I remember Beyonce being like one of the last celebrities to even make social media. Like she wasn't on social media like for a long
and honestly,
time.
she still isn't. Like so, in college, I did my thesis was I studied how celebrities. Oh my God, I'm being academic. I studied how celebrities portray themselves on social media, and so I downloaded that there were like different types of users. So there was like the first-hand user, the second-hand user, and like the third-hand user. Beyonce, I feel, is definitely the third-hand user, where she just takes the pictures and then everyone else does everything and then she approves it and then you post it. Versus celebrities now who like have the phone in their hands, they're recording, hey guys, I'm this, that person, follow me, blah, 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 which is the first hand. And the second hand is like just someone who just, yeah. So I feel like, yes, she was the last one that made social media, but I feel like she is still not on it in the way that Nicki Minaj is, who's doing lives, or the way that the City Girls are that are doing lives and TikTok and all that stuff. Yeah. Well, I mean, at least on her public platform, because I know Beyonce be watching us from her.
Because she knows she be knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
Just on her business.
Yeah, on the business page, it's very Beyonce Giselle goes Carter.
Yeah, her team is definitely posting.
Absolutely.
Like most of the bigger stars do. Like they all be having like the bigger teams that are posting for them. But yeah, so comment below and let us know what you guys think about this conversation. What do you think about, you know, the current climate and like what really was the future gonna hold? Because I feel like the access now is ridiculous.
It's gonna get even worse.
What else is gonna be going down, honey? Like
it's gonna get even worse, girl. The metaverse is opening up. So whether you like it or not, girls, we are gonna be Sims characters.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
I wanna be Sims.
Get ready for that. And girl, with everybody making these little cartoon things of themselves, y'all are making yourselves into yes, and I love that because I said the same thing. Everyone's making these cartoon characters of themselves. That is basically what's going to happen in the universe. We're going to be IMVU characters, basically.
Y'all was posting them pictures, baby. I mean, damn.
Now I'm not gonna lie and say y'all didn't look good though.
Some of
y'all was looking good. I said, oh, y'all look better in the metaverse than y'all do in the universe, but whatever. So yeah, let us know what y'all think about gatekeeping and, like you said, what the future will hold for that.
Yeah. All right, guys. So now we're gonna get into our Raise a Glass, our last Raise a Glass of 2022.
Yeah.
T-Pain.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This has been a year. This has been a year for us. I love that. Yeah.
It's been a year. I don't know. I think before we get into that, I think like you said, it's been a year. It's been a long year. Lots going on. And each episode, you guys know, we always talk about, you know, who we love, like who has been just like motivating us, or somebody that, you know, has like stood out to us in any type of way that we're just like, we're proud of you. I want to say, like, I want to raise a glass to all of you.
Yes.
Because you guys have been watching, you guys have been tuning in, you guys have been following us on our social platforms, and we really appreciate it. And we know, again, this year has been a lot for everyone, but we just want to say, keep going, don't give up on yourself, keep chugging along, because child, we chugging.
We are chugging.
We are chugging along.
I echo those same sentiments. Like, I just want you to know that, like, I'm proud of you. Like, I'm proud of you for just continuing to push through life. Like, this is not easy, especially like in your 20s. I know I'm speaking for myself. Like, this whole life thing is difficult, like, to try to figure out. But shout out to you for continuing to figure it out, to do your best. Keep pushing. Know that if no one else supports you, we do. I do. We love you so much, and we hope that this year, 2023, is even bigger, even better, even brighter for you.
Even brighter. Big dreams, big dreams, big dreams.
Yes.
So, I would like to raise my glass to, actually, I want to say two. So, first one, I'm going to raise my glass to Keke Palmer.
Yes.
Because she was on SNL
and did an amazing job.
And she announced her pregnancy, which was absolutely amazing.
Yes.
We're so happy for her. So congrats to you, Keke. But I think it was just like a big moment to see, like, she was one of the first Black girls to have her own television show, True Jackson P.
Yes.
And Keke is just iconic. Like, she's so iconic. She's still so young. She's not even 30 yet. And it's like she's literally been in the game since she was 10.
Exactly.
Like, literally so iconic. Like, her, Raven Simone, like, those are people that, like, I've always looked up to growing up as a kid. Like, literally seeing a Black girl on TV, like, her own show, like, doing her thing, like, being one of the top actresses. Like, I love it. And not just Black actresses, just period. Like, they literally have made their own lane, and I love that. So congrats to Keke for being on SNL, for all her accomplishments in life.
I feel like literally growing up with Keke, like, I feel like she's like my older sister.
Yes.
And so when she announced her pregnancy, I was like, oh my god, my baby's having a baby. Yes. Like, I'm so excited for her to be a mother.
Yeah.
She is definitely going to be a parent that changes the world. She's going to raise a beautiful baby. Yeah. To also go out and change the world. And so, congratulations, Keke. We love you, and you are gorgeous.
Yes. We love you so much impact.
Yes.
And the last person I want to raise a glass to is Tabitha Brown,
Yes.
because she was nominated for an Emmy.
Shout out to Tab.
Yes. I love that. She was nominated for an Emmy for her child show that she has, a social series that she has on her YouTube channel, Tab Time, I believe the name is. And I just think that's so amazing. I think, you know, even her story is just super inspiring, and I love to see even, like, you know, her age group, I think, is so inspiring. I mean, it inspires me, and I'm in my 20s, but I think it just shows that, like, it's not always on our timing. It's like always literally God's timing, because we can think like, oh, well, this needs to happen by this age, and I need to have this by this age, but like literally things happened when God wanted them to happen for her. So I am so proud, and I mean, I definitely know that when you have patience and you're doing your part, that things happen for you, because sometimes we be thinking that we know. Hold on, let me
go on and preach for us real quick. Please go on and preach for us. All things work together for the good.
Thinking that we know what we're talking about, and we don't. We literally don't even know what we're talking about. Like, literally, when she tells her story of in her 20s and how she just fought and trying to get acting, do you see how things that last like 2 or 3 years, how things have literally been falling in line for her?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I think it's so inspiring. It's so amazing. Like, I'm just beyond proud of her. So congrats to you, Tab.
Yes.
You are doing amazing, honey. And I know it's gonna be more to come for her.
Oh, absolutely. This is just the beginning.
I already know that.
Well, shout out to Tab. Shout out to Kiki. I also love you so much. I want to raise a glass to a couple of people as well. First to Quinta Brunson. This has been an amazing year for you. And it has also, just like the same with Kiki, like watching her evolve from her viral video, a large, like I was saying that in high school, like to make my friends laugh. That is just so crazy that she has really evolved from the BuzzFeed days to now being this stunning writer, this award-winning person. It's beautiful to see. It is so really gorgeous. So shout out to you, Quinta. Love you so much. Please continue to do it. Continue to break barriers, break the glass ceiling, and show us how to do it. Show us, you know, encourage us, inspire us, just by being yourself. So thank you so much.
You bringing up Quinta, love you, Quinta, by the way, but you bringing that up because I think it brings our conversation full circle, because we talked about the gatekeeper thing. We talked about how everybody has access and how social media started careers and all that. I think these are the times, I think, that makes it amazing. Like, to see her, even with someone like Issa, like, to see her start Awkward Black Girl, all the things she worked on her YouTube, using her friends for helping her to, like, start her platform, do what she's doing now, to, like, that's the great part of this access that we now have with social media. So I think that, just want to say, I think that brings it full circle. And it's definitely been a Quinta year.
Absolutely.
Because Quinta been getting them checks, okay?
Getting them checks, getting them awards, and clearing them. So shout out to you, Quinta. And then lastly, just, I mean, as y'all know, I'm raising a glass to Beyonce. Thank you for
impacting our lives.
Thank you for impacting our lives this year. Y'all know I talk about this all the time, but like, that album really, it really helped put life into perspective. I tell Brigethia this all the time, but I'm turning 25 in 2023. And you know, when you turn 25, your frontal lobe closes. And like, things are supposed to be clearer, you put that into perspective, whatever. I can feel that happening. And I feel like Beyonce's music has been really a soundtrack of just like liberation for me this year. Just kind of like getting back to what I know to be right, what I know to be myself, and what I know to be what I need to be doing, truly need to be doing. So, raising a glass to Quinta, raising a glass to Beyonce, Kiki, and Tab for your fabulousness throughout this entire year. So thank you so much, ladies.
Raising a glass to you, ladies.
Cheersies!
Okay, so let's just a little bit get into what I want to know. What do you see for your 2023? Without giving away all of your goals and everything, but what do you want to see for yourself and the world for 2023?
For the world, I want people, we talked about it earlier in the episode, I want people to just be more respectful.
Yeah.
And I want to say I want people to be more loving, but love is hard to do. So if you could just be more respectful, like it takes 2 seconds to respect someone's space, to respect someone's identity, and I feel like that is how we can move forward. Don't be afraid to learn things that you have never learned before. I want the world to just evolve and grow and become better than we have been these last few years. I want this year to be the year that we kind of bounce back from the detriments of COVID. 2020, 2021, 2022 even, it's been a slow train, but I feel like 2023, we're all more energized, at least I know I am, and we're all like kind of just getting back to what we know, like I said earlier, to be true and to be right. And so I want us to, this year, go after what you know to be right. Go after what, I'm about to cry, oh my God. Go after what you know is your calling, despite what anybody else says, despite anybody else's opinions. You know what you want to do. If you are a person who is religious, let God lead you. If not, listen to the universe. If not, look within yourself and know that what you are doing is leading you on the right path. We talked about Mama Tab and even Quinta, who, you know, they had their moments of, I don't want to call it a struggle, but their moments of like insecurity and just, you know, darkness, but fight through it. It's difficult, it's easier said than done, but please, fight through it, keep waking up in the morning, keep putting your best foot forward. And with that being said, that's also what I kind of want for myself as well. I want to just continuing to evolve and grow, being more comfortable in what life has for me, letting things come, not trying to go after everything, but just being still and letting God do what He want to do. So that's what I'm looking forward to this year. Like I said, I am turning 25, so I do have some more other goals I just want to check off. I'm getting my fitness bag this year. And I want y'all to hold me accountable to this, please, you too. I want to run the New York City Marathon.
Ooh.
So that's a big goal of mine.
That's great.
So that's, you know, I'd say in a nutshell, that is what I am hoping for and expecting out of 2023.
I love that so much. I love that so much. I would say for the world, I agree with like be kind to people. You never know what someone's going through. That always runs through my mind because my mom always says that. But also I think I just honestly and truthfully I really just want happiness for everyone. Yes. People that I don't even know. Like I honestly do. I think this past I would say 3 years have been crazy for a lot of people for many different reasons. So I really and honestly and truthfully just wish love and light to everybody, and I just show up for yourself. I think that that's so important. Like show up for yourself, even if it's something small. No matter what it is. It could be with anything. If it's something that you're passionate about, show up for yourself and at least try. Take a step forward to whatever your goals are. So I would say that everyone, I really just hope that everyone has a blessed year and they get everything that their heart desires and they put their best foot forward and put the work in to accomplish whatever the goals are. And then for myself, I would say also happiness. I'm also kind of entering a new, oh my God, I can't even. I'm turning 29 in 2023.
Yes.
I cannot believe that.
Look how, ooh, I'm sorry, I just felt the Holy Spirit.
I
Look how God is bringing you through. Yeah. I
can't believe it. But I will say, I feel like this will be the last year of my 20s. Yeah. And I literally cannot believe it. So I just want to continue to live in my purpose and do things that make me happy. That's, for me, I've learned, it's all about the happiness. The other stuff doesn't really matter, to be honest. it's all about what makes me happy, and I want to continue to be kind to myself, to be kinder to myself, and just, I don't know, like I really want to I want to really just continue to work on my potential. Like there's so many things that I know that I want to do, that I'm going to do, that like it's gonna happen.
It is.
I think it's gonna be a rebrand.
I
It's
can
giving
feel that for
rebrand.
you a little bit.
It's giving rebrand 2023.
Yes.
So be on the lookout, cause it's lit for
Big things popping and little things stopping.
Okay.
Okay. So yes. So with that being said,
Yes.
as always, until next time. So your signals already say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
However, Happy New Year. Continue to follow us on social, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Comment on, subscribe on YouTube. Comment, let us know what you thought about this episode. If you have any, comment and let us know if you have any comments about what we talked about today. And have a great year. We will see you in the new year, even though you're already seeing us in the new year. Whatever. We'll see you later.
We'll see you later.
Cocktails and culture.
Cocktails and culture.
Get it from my baby, what's now?